Sup guys, welcome back to channel Maverick here, and of course with another episode of Shaman King. So we're on episode 12 now, and I do believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that this is essentially the episode where we are going to be facing Taoen, right? Big Daddy of Ren here. Yeah, I don't think they actually go through that many other, minions and whatnot. It's really not styled like your typical shonen type of series. In order to get to the big boss, you gotta go through all the minions and whatnot. It had some inklings of that, but if I recall correctly, they don't actually spend too much time there. So we go directly into the grand finale, if you will. And I do recall it being a pretty epic battle overall, so let's just get into it, right? I do want to see how exactly they managed to animate that fight, and of course, if they are actually going to end this arc on this episode as well, right? Again, fast forwarding through everything before we get to the actual Shaman King tournament and whatnot. Well, let's just get into the episode and find out. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. We're reviewing. Right. So yeah, this is when they're about to find Talon. Yep. Right. Yeah, now it's coming back to me again, how he was sort of like... Right, and then we also get to see Yo and Rin sort of power up as well, right? As well as with all the others at the same time. I am glad that this song really does sort of live up to the original series openings. Both in terms of its, catchiness and whatnot. I still feel like, Hayashibara-san would have done even better if this was like 15 years earlier. But, it is what it is. Right. Ren versus N, right? Yep. It's the same from Pyro. Pyro. Of course, there's only one guy who can use all that. I actually forgot about this guy. And guess who's gonna bring him down, right? Of course, we gotta come full circle here. Yeah, but at the end of the day, right? It's still just a zombie here. A junction. Yep. And the world goes round and round. Well, there's actually lots of cases where the pupil destroys the master, right? Well, technically, if they are going with the, something that. Anyways, as I was going to say, if they are trying to, rewatching this series in like, wait, what? Oh, was that fast? Well, I guess, but still. Anyways, as I was saying, so when I was young, I didn't notice as much. But now that I'm watching this with all the years behind me, my instant question is, well, actually, if they're going for Li Xiaolong, right? The obvious reference is Li Xiaolong. Um, how exactly? Because Li Xiaolong developed his own martial arts techniques and styles, right? He learned some from his masters, of course, but then he basically formulated his own sort of moves and techniques and whatnot. I bet Li Xiaolong is Bruce Lee, right? Here's Big Daddy. Ooh, region, eh? And of course, that should be like your first hint that something isn't quite right here. There's something fishy about all this. They're really, they're actually okay. I'm currently looking at this from the animation perspective, right? And they're still trying to, animate as few scenes as possible here. So like Pyron flying off, they didn't actually fully animate him, uh, flying towards the wall and whatnot. Tao is basically a double. There's a double meaning here because Tao in Chinese also means path. So abandoning your Tao could mean abandoning the family, but also abandoning the path that he needs to walk. Let's see. So they are mentioning path here, but Tao basically means path. Da da Ta-dang! Follow the Tao of the Tao family, basically. Now, there's some obvious parallels to this with Kaiba from Yukio. Although, I guess, sort of like in opposite to Kaiba, Ren accepts his weakness a lot better, right? And the fact that he needs to rely on friends and all that. Because this is our path! This is actually kind of important, though, the wavering part. It calls back to something that we talked about a few episodes earlier. In within a shaman battle, in order to maintain your advantage, your oversoul, you need to be unwavering. Ooh. Right. Right. If you waver yourself, then your oversoul falls apart. Still with the ridiculous mustache, though. True. Like for the past 15, 13, 14, 15 years. Oh no, since June was born. June, I believe, is in high school. So like 17, 16 years. He's always kept that form. I guess like father, like son, right? Always with the stubbornness. This is what they mean by worship your ancestors. There we go. Although at the end of the day, even if you have your ancestors of 2,000 years, right? They're still only people. This is my path! Right on the nose. Wait, was this how it worked? I actually don't quite remember how this was resolved. Yeah, it's over. Hey. I gotta say, like, the Rin's mom, really hot. Very true, though. Just like our morals and, what is right, what is wrong, has evolved a lot for over the past 2,000 years. Like things such as human rights, slavery, women's rights, right? All that kind of stuff. There's definitely a big discrepancy in definition between what happened 2,000 years ago, what was acceptable 2,000 years ago, and now in the modern day in society, right? Well, about that. Hmm? I never noticed Rue did something like that. Look at this dude, just riding a horse across all of China. Right. At the end of all, his father accepted. And Ren, to a certain extent, also accepted his responsibility as well. Hey, we're back. Wait, we end there? Alright. Well, anyway, see you guys after this. Alright, so there we go with this Tao family arc, right? And then with that, at the very end there, well, yep, the Shaman King tournament is about to start. I do believe that we get through a little bit more of their, like daily lives, their last farewells from normality and whatnot, and then everything starts to begin probably at the end of next episode, if I were to guess, right? This is again just going from memory here, but I do believe that is the case. But that's for the next episode. Let's talk about this one though, and honestly, I have to say at this point, even though it does pain me to say this, I really don't think the adaption, right, this adaption right now, fully captures the sort of, the feeling of the original manga here. And what I mean by this is that, sure, in this episode, they didn't really cut out anything that was important. In fact, they kept all of the scenes that were important, right? Especially the sort of back and forth between Ren and In, and then also, Grandpa's, his whole speech there, and then at the very end there with Ren and En, making like one final concession to each other and that sort of thing. It was all there, but I don't know. It's just the I'm not sure if it's the pacing, if it's the delivery of the lines, or if it's just the overall cinematography of the scenes and whatnot. It just doesn't really give me the same kind of impact as I feel within the original scenes, right? And I actually, for this, I specifically went back and read through the exact same scene, right? This entire arc in the manga once again, and again, I just feel like they don't really make some of the lines that kind of almost give you shivers, right? Give you chills and whatnot, in how they say it, and so on and so forth. Or it's something that really resonates with you internally when you read it in the manga form. I just don't really feel it here in the anime. Then again, I was never a big watcher of the original anime, so that might have been true for the original anime as well, right? I mentioned very many episodes ago that they kind of do sort of cartoonize. Is that even a word? Cartoonize the anime adaptation, so it's not as dark, it's not as mature themed as the manga here, and so I don't know if maybe that kind of also lessens the impact as well, and what the producers, what the animators are able to do with the storyline here. So, as a fan of the series, I'm feeling disappointed at that, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna drop it or anything. I still want to watch it through because I love the franchise. But I do wish that because I do want Shaman King to be a little bit more popular, especially for new viewers and whatnot. But as it stands right now, it still really feels much more like a kids show, even though they are talking about some rather dark things like killing, murdering, and all that sort of stuff. But it just still has this sort of cartoony feel to it over everything. But anyways, putting that aside, so we do get through some very important points in this episode here. Again, the relationship between, or how can I put this? A few episodes back, actually, one of the commentators on the videos actually brought up a very good point, and that is, at the heart of Shaman King, it's really the idea of the conflict of your ideals, of your morals, of your goals and missions, your dreams, that sort of thing, right? More so than any direct measurement of your Furyuku, your shaman power, or what kind of moves you have. And don't get me wrong, those are important as well, but I would say it's a cause and effect kind of thing, right? The higher your willpower, the more that you are resolved in your determination and whatnot, the higher your power will actually be. So it goes in hand here, and it's actually quite it was actually already hinted back a few episodes past by the dude from the Patch Tribe. I suddenly can't remember his name anymore. But one of the judges, right? He mentioned how your oversoul, your ability to maintain your oversoul is based on your willpower and whatnot, right? And if your heart wavers and whatnot, then you'll have a hard time maintaining your oversoul, and consequently you will be much more easily defeated. That kind of thing here, and this arc here, I guess perhaps this might also be why I love this arc so much as one of the early arcs, and that is because it's probably one of the first instances that this actually comes to be, right? Because with all respects, In should still be much stronger than the rest of them in terms of his shaman powers, right? Because come on, think about it. To maintain that big of an oversoul and for that long of a period of time, never letting up and whatnot, his shaman power should be very high, right? And yet, the rest of the gang didn't even really help that much to defeat En. Ren pretty much defeated En by himself, right? And that there is the clash of the again, kind of like a double meaning here, but the clash of their Tao, right? The clash of their paths here, and what they truly believe in. And what this is really saying is that, even though En might have the numerical advantage with his shamanic powers and whatnot, but because his willpower is not as strong, because he faltered at the very end there by knowing the determination of Ren and how he himself might actually be in the wrong there, that changed everything, and that allowed Ren to eventually win, right? Well, I guess not technically win, because, we got Grandpa and Mom coming out as well, and that's what basically ended the whole battle. If they really went at it and duked it out and whatnot, I still believe that at this point in time, En would probably win, right? But, we'll never know, because I don't even think it's really made all that clear in the manga either, the exact extent of En's power, but, that's kind of beside the point here, because that's secondary to what, transpired here, right? And, again, this is, 20 years from then to this point, with more experience, with more knowledge under my belt right now, I do get the kind of it's only at this point that I fully get the sort of double meaning on Dao and walking your path, that kind of thing here, right? Which is quite funny now that I think about it. But I mean, it's not going to change anything overall in the grand scheme of things. It's just a pretty funny fact, I guess you could say, about this entire situation here. But in any case, Ren is basically saying, yeah, I'm weak, so I have friends that I can rely on, and through them and whatnot, I can grow stronger, and eventually achieve the goals that I want to achieve, that kind of thing. Whereas, on inside, he's basically saying, trust no one, you can only depend on yourself, that kind of thing. It's a spiel that we've heard 1,000,001 times, right? But still, at the end of the day, that is what they are trying to battle out in terms of their convictions and whatnot. And so at the very end there, with the scene between Ren and En, again, with En basically accepting Ren's ideals, and Ren also acknowledging it, right? He did, after all, take hold of the family heirloom, and also said that he is, don't worry about him, he is going to do what he needs to do, right? So he still accepts that he's part of the Dao family, right? Except that now he's going to do things his way, and he's going to change the Dao family in his own way as well, and has accepted that. He's accepted that Ren is a worthy successor to the family. Let him go, let him be, and let him do what he wants to do. What kind of different path will he take the Dao family down, right? So, I just, it's actually such an impactful scene, honestly. I mean, not impactful, but I guess it is really sentimental in a lot of ways. I mean, you always love these sort of plot lines which have the main character or whatnot, one of the main characters revolting against your family because due to differences and whatnot, but finally gaining acceptance at the very end there, and everybody, even if begrudgingly, right, still accepting the person for who they are, and and for it to be reciprocated as well, right? It's not a case where the character is going to be like, no, this is too late. It's I cut ties with this family. I'm going to do my own thing and whatnot. It's not that kind of case at all. At the end of the day, he is still he still keeps the family bond with him, and that is still important to him, right? And so I think that's why I actually love the conclusion of this arc so much here. And of course, all the actual, this is the first time we get to see this team sort of fight together, our main characters fight together and whatnot, even though the battles were still quite limited, right? But anyways, that is pretty much it for this episode. So again, next one probably we'll have a little in-betweener and whatnot, and then by the end of the next episode, I do believe we will formally kick off the actual Shaman King tournament. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.